Hello, Sudoku friends, especially friends of the New York Times. Hi, Sudoku. Today is the 3rd of February 2023. Today I did manage to access the New York Times website from my laptop. Maybe it's because it's early morning. Well, it's not early morning, it's 11 a.m., but it is a Friday and the people are at home having their lunch and their noon nap. So maybe that's why the internet is improving today. So I'll solve this, or I'll attempt to solve this puzzle on the New York website instead of copying it over to sudokuexchange.com. Let's see what this has in store for us. There's a 6 blocking over here, and there's a 6 blocking down here, and there's a 6. Yeah, the 6 is blocking over here, this 6 here. And there's a 6 blocking down here, so this is a 6. We got the first digit, and one of these must be a 6. And also one of these must be a 6. So we've got a small X-wing here on 6s, but it doesn't matter because it's within one chute. So they are usually not very helpful. What else do we have? 9, 9. There's a lot of restrictions over on the right side, isn't there? Yes, this square must be a 3 because it's... No, hang on. No, it mustn't. I thought it must be a 3, but it could also be a 2. So let's look at this instead then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this must be a 3. That's nice. It's a new gimmick, I think, from the New York Times, because they usually have these nice pairs that fit wonderfully in a box. But I don't really see any of those today. So let's try it again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9. So this is a 2. Oh, this is nice. And we got a 2 up here and here blocking these 5 squares. And we got a 2 coming over here blocking this square as well. So this must be a 2. Now one of these must be a 2. Can we do more stuff here? We know that one of these is a 6. And we know that this can't be a 9. So an 8 must go here or here. Let's try this one just for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 9. No, this is an 8. Oh dear. So now these are 1, 6, and 9s, and especially this square is a 1 or a 9. What else can we? Well, one of these must be a 3 because we've got these 2 3s blocking these 4 squares, right? We got a 3, 4, 5, 9 across here. There's 9 here, so no, 4 here, or 3, 4. So this is a 5 or a 9. Oh, 3, 4, 9. This is a 5. And now 3, 4, and a 9 for these 3 squares, and this must therefore be a 9. So this must be a 9 now, and these two have to be a 1 and a 6. And with the 6 here and the 6 here, that gives us a 6 here. What can we do? 1, 6, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7 here. Well, 4 and a 5 must be here, here, and here somehow. Let's look over here. 1, 4, 5. This is a 4. Okay, so one of these is a 4, right? And this 4 blocks here, so this is a 4. So now we just need to find we've got a 1 and a 6, so we need to have a 7 and a 5 here and here. And that kind of doesn't really seem possible yet. But these two have to be a 4 and a 3. And this must be a 3 now, not a 4 or 7. What is happening here? Oh, I hate this user. Well, here's a 3 coming down, so this is a 3. And we have these two threes blocking here, here. And we have this 3 blocking here, so this is a 3. Now this is a 1 7 and this is a 1 7, but there is a 1 in this row, so this must be a 7 and this must come. What is happening here? 7 and a 1. Right. And now one of these must be a 7, of course, and these two must be a 1 and a 5. And we can sort those because we have a 1 in one of these two squares. So this must be a 5 and this must be a 1. Now one of these must be a 5 and the other must be a 4, making this a 7. So we are just about sorted the right chute here. Let's see if we can do more. We have some limitations in the bottom chute now. It seems that we are all over the place in this puzzle. A 2, 5 and an 8 here. We have a 2 blocking here and here, of course, so this is a 2 and this is an 8. And one of these must be an 8 now, and the other must be a 5. We have a 5 in the column, making this an 8 and this a 5. So now one of these must be a 5. And these two now must be a 7 and a 6. And I can't solve those just yet, I think. What about over here? 4, 5, 8? No, 4, 5, 7. 4, 5, 7. Oh, hang on. There's a 5 coming up here and a 5 coming over here. No, that's not helpful. But I believe that we need a 2, 4, 6, and a 7 to complete this column 4. There's a 4, 7, and a 6 all blocking this square, so this must be a 2. And now one of these two must be a 2. What else were we missing? A 4, 6, and a 7. A 7 must go here or here. This cannot be a 4, so this is a 6 or a 7. But that's as close as I can get, I think, for the time being. Did find, I think, in New York, a little trick. Again, there's a 1 going up here and here's, and a 1 coming over here. So one of these must be a 1. Now look at the 9s. We've got a 9 blocking here and here. So these can't be 9s. We got a 9 blocking here, so this can't be a 9. So therefore it must be a 1 and this must be a 9. Now we got this 9 blocking across, this 9 blocking across the other way, this 9 blocking up, making this a 9. Now one of these must be a 1. And these two must be a 7 and a 4. Yes, they must. And therefore we got to have a 4 up here somewhere and a 7 up here somewhere. But that limits the available squares for a 9, doesn't it? We still got the 2 9s coming over here, and we got the 9 coming up here, so this is a 9. Every little bit helps. But now we had one extra digit in row 4. What might the other 4 be? It might be a 1, 6, 5, and 8. We have a 5 and 8 here, so a 5 and 8 will have to find squares over here. And well, this can't be a 6, this can't be a 1, so now that is, I think, too far-fetched, isn't it? Yes, we still have the little micro X-wing here. We also, by the way, have an X-wing on 6 up here, except it doesn't really qualify because it's all in the same suit and therefore without any value. I like to play with the what ifs, but I'm not sure that I understand the technique properly. This could be a 4. This could be a 4, and this could be a 4. And I'm thinking if this is a 4, then this can't be a 4, therefore this must be a 4. If this is not a 4, then I used to think, well, then this must be a 4, and therefore this can't be a 4. But that is a flawed logic because we could potentially also have a 4 here, right? Just something that popped up in my mind. While I've been looking at the 4s, I completely overlooked that we have 2 3s here blocking these 4 squares, and we have a 3 coming up here blocking these squares, making this a 3. It's not helpful when we overlook simple things like this. So down here on column 1, we need to find 2, 5, 7, 8. We've got a 2, 8 here. So in theory, this is a 5 or a 7, except it's not. It's not because we already know that one of these must be a 7. So therefore, this is a 5. And that makes this a 5. And we are getting closer. A 2, 7, 8 now for these 3 squares. We know that this cannot be a 7, so this is a 2 or an 8. And that is, I think, as close as I can get to that at this time. But we got a 4, 7 here and a 4, 7 here and a 4, 7 here. And I don't think this will be a 4 or a 7. So, but I'm not going to take that into consideration as I'm continuing with this puzzle because I've been burned before. This is quite beautiful. I need to find a way to explain this. This square must be a 7. I'll try to explain why. See, we got a 6, 7 here, right? So this cell cannot be a 7. We got a 4, 7 here and a 4, 7 here. So this square cannot be a 7. We got a 7 here, so this square can't be a 7. We got a 7 here, so this square can't be a 7. So this is a 7. And these two 7s block over here 3 squares, and the 7 here blocks 3 squares here. So this is a 7. And we already know that one of these is a 7, right? So now we are looking at a 2 and an 8. For these two squares, we have an 8 in the row, making this a 2 and making this an 8. Oh, 2. My mouse isn't obeying me today. We got an 8 over here and an 8 over here, making this an 8. And we know that these 3 digits have to be a 4, 5, and an 8. We have a 5 and an 8 in the row, so this must be a 4. And this is now a 5 and an 8, making these two a 2 and a 6. We have a 2 in the row, so this is a 6, and this is a 2. This is turning out to be quite a fun New York Times heart puzzle today, I have to admit. It requires some lateral thinking, unless, of course, some of you found a better path, which is entirely possible. But I'm enjoying myself. Still got a 4, 5 going on here, and I can't solve them yet. But now I'm more confident that that will happen soon. The 6 here puts a 6 here and a 1 here. And we remember that one of these needed to be a 1, right? Now that this is a 7, this must be a 1, making this a 1 as well. Six and 7 still here, and 3 and 4 still here. But 3 can't go up here. Well, it could go down here. No, no. We got a 3 coming down here. Yes. So this must be a 3, making this a 3 and this a 4, like so. And that makes this a 4 and this a 7 and this a 4. We don't need to explain that because we've been over this. This is now a 7, and that makes this a 7 and this a 6. So this is really a fun puzzle today. Still a 4-5 going on here. Okay, we'll get there, I think. This is a 5-8. Oh, let's just try to continue with the low-hanging fruit, shan't we? This is a 4. And now we have a 4 here and a 5 here and a 5 here, 8 here. And we are solving this puzzle, I think. This is a 2. This was quite an enjoyable New York Times hard Sudoku. I'm sure some of you found a better path. I enjoyed this one and I hope that you did as well. Thank you for watching and bye for now.